the conclusion of that report is we do not need any more land in the land supply. It's all about cutting regulations. It's cutting red tape. Some of the things that Jason's been talking about that I've been hearing, right? One of the huge things is ending exclusionary zoning.
Explain to me on a macro level how giving the wealthiest landowners of the land this beautiful golden opportunity, how that is going to actually create the affordable housing. Because, okay, is there something that forces them to like not make a profit on this land?
Wow. So, I was going to say the one thing they could do, and this is something that should have been part of this deal, was look, we'll give this to you, but there's a cap. You cannot sell these properties for more than X. You cannot, these cannot be $4 million, ravine lot, 6,000 square foot custom homes. Can't do that. These have to be a max of $850,000 or $800,000.
But they cost me $890 to build. How am I going to do it, Dougie?
Hopefully, if the land, hopefully if the land value, if the land didn't cost them that much, like that sometimes is a huge piece of the
interest
pie,
rates
right?
are high now, Dougie. Like, I don't know how we're going to do this, bro.
That farmer gave me an 8% VTB. I've been paying him for the last 10
I've been paying
years,
for 25 years. Yeah. I mean, there's no,
don't forget your
I think the market,
your daughter's wedding was pretty expensive.
To answer your question, the market will control it. The market will control it. And if you create that much more housing and the demand side,
so no more affordable housing.
Maybe the prices just stay the same for 10 years, whatever it is. They're getting out of control. So if we don't do something, how much more unaffordable our house is going to be in 10 years if we didn't have some sort of aggressive plan to build?
Yeah, this could be, because I don't think, listen, financially, and this is like with my sort of finance lender hat on, we can't have homes correct by 50%. It cannot happen. It would be just mass chaos. If home prices drop by 50%, even 30% from where they are today, anyone who's bought in the last 3 years is going to be massively underwater, and you're going to start seeing people walking away from homes. You're going to see like a 2008 US style type of thing, because people are not going to stay in a property that's upside down for that long. They just won't. Not if the interest rates are that high. Canadians are notorious for, they will not. They don't do that. Canadians are usually pretty good. That's why our default rates are really, really low. But I think that we couldn't have this. So at some point, there's going to be a base level. And are we there now? Maybe that right now, the average home price is in Canada, $760,000. That's just where it's going to be. And hopefully it doesn't go much higher. And we just have to keep on adding more supply to what's going on. But my concern is what would happen if there was a big market downturn. I worry about financially how that would look for everyday people, to be honest.
Gundabad, what do you, I want to hear your thoughts on some of the things I said on, that this was the best option that we had.
I don't know. Were you playing devil's advocate, or are those your actual personal beliefs on those issues?
So one is I represent sellers who sell land. So my interests are aligned with helping my clients. At the end of the day, I'm not big enough and my thoughts aren't strong enough to really care one way or the other. At the end of the day, what happens is the market decides what the market's going to do. So again, I'm playing more of a devil's advocate role here because I want to hear your opinions. But again, there are some truth to it. I definitely think that what you're saying is 100% true. I'm not denying any of the ways that this came about. It's definitely what it is. But I just want to hear your thoughts, because what I'm saying is the narrative on the other side. That's why I'm saying it.
TK, you filthy capitalist. How dare you? How dare you?
He's a realtor. He's a realtor.
Yeah.
Says it right there, right?
You make money on the transactions, right? No, I get it. I think the huge problem with that argument is that there is a shite ton of land, right? The land between Hamilton and Pickering, again, in and around the existing built-up areas, it's more than 250 square kilometers. It's close to 300 square kilometers. That's bigger than the size of Paris, France. The idea that they need to take out of the Greenbelt because that land is so expensive, they are unable to profitably build on that. I do not believe it, because the whole thing about a free market mechanism is a seller will not price their land that's so expensive that no one will buy it, because otherwise they're never going to sell it, right? Like that's the whole thing about the fluidity of a free market. I don't think that makes sense at all. There's so many variables in this. It's such a complex problem, but land, even Doug Ford's very own Affordable Housing Task Force, who, by the way, was not ran by David fucking Suzuki, Save the Butterflies. It was ran by the guy who runs Scotia Capital. He's an investment banker, right? He's like Patrick Bateman. He probably eats babies and drinks champagne every morning for breakfast. This is a guy who doesn't care about the environment, right? The conclusion of that report is we do not need any more land in the land supply. It's all about cutting regulations. It's cutting red tape. Some of the things that Jason's been talking about that I've been hearing, right? One of the huge things is ending exclusionary zoning in all the big cities, which, by the way, the city of Toronto did about a month ago.
Dumbest thing ever. A dumbest thing ever.
Of Toronto was exclusionary zoning. You couldn't build anything other than, detached single family households. So the argument I just do not think holds up. The developers would love that to be true, because then it gives them political cover to do things, sneaky weasel shit like this, right? To get Doug Ford to try to reach on their land. I would also point out that you do not see the biggest developers, the Carlo Fidanis, the Peter Gilgans of Mattamy Homes. These guys' names never come up with this sneaky corruption shit because they do not participate in it, right? From my understanding too, the De Gasperis family is a big family. The guys who are doing this stuff with the Greenbelt, that's not the whole De Gasperis family. Some of the De Gasperis family, from what I hear, wants nothing to do with that, because they're like, dude, I think a big residential real estate developer's worst nightmare is having their name on the front of the Globe and Mail. They do not want to be out there. So the guys that are doing this shit are not the best and the brightest of our developer communities out there, right? There's a huge amount of demonization, especially like in the environmental circles of developers. But I have to say, it's like any group of humans, there's good apples and there's bad apples. Some developers are fantastic people.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.